You know that feeling, right? If you're in tech recruiting, it's just constant, relentless firefighting. But what if I told you that all those fires, all that chaos, are really just symptoms of a much deeper problem? Well, today, we're going to get to the bottom of what that is.
So let's just start with this one number, 90%. Just let that sink in for a second. In the world of talent acquisition, what on earth could 90% represent? Turns out, it points to a huge misunderstanding about where the real problems actually are.
And here's the kicker right here. This is the statement behind that number. The big idea we're exploring is that for the vast majority of teams, the issue isn't a hiring problem at all. It's an operations problem. Now that is a huge shift in thinking, right? It means all the stress, the scrambling, the missed targets. Maybe they're not about a lack of good candidates. Maybe they're about a broken system.
Okay, so let's really break that down. This is all about looking past the daily pain, the fires, and actually diagnosing the root cause. It's about shifting our focus from the symptom to what's really going on underneath.
This lays it out perfectly. Think of it like an iceberg. What we feel, what we see every day is the symptom, the hiring problem. It looks like reactive firefighting and just this feeling of constant urgency. But the real issue, the giant hidden part of the iceberg, is the cause, the operations problem. And that's all about a lack of proactive systems and, honestly, a seriously weak foundation.
So, if the foundation is weak, where are the cracks? Let's get really specific here. This analysis points to 4 core operational failures that are pretty much creating all of this chaos we're talking about.
And here they are. Number 1, no workforce planning. 2, poor demand forecasting. 3, weak intake discipline. And 4, missing hiring governance. Now, I know these might sound like a bunch of corporate buzzwords, but just think of them as the 4 essential pillars that are supposed to hold up a stable, predictable, and, calm hiring process. When even one of them is weak, the whole thing just starts to fall apart.
So let's start with workforce planning. This is the big picture stuff. It's about stepping back and asking, okay, based on where our company wants to go, what skills are we going to need in 6 months or a year from now? Where are our talent gaps? Without this, every single hiring request feels like a total surprise, like a shocking emergency, because you literally never saw it coming.
Next up is poor demand forecasting. This is a bit more tactical. It's about looking at the sales pipeline, the product roadmap, and actually predicting when you'll need to hire people. When this part fails, that's exactly why you get that dreaded Friday afternoon message that says, hey, we just closed a huge deal and we need 5 new engineers, like yesterday.
And the third failure is weak intake discipline. This is all about how a new role even gets started. Is it just a chaotic Slack message from a manager saying, hey, I need someone? Or is there a real structured process to define the role, the budget, the interview plan before anyone even starts searching? Without that discipline, recruiters are basically just chasing a moving target. It's impossible.
And finally, we have missing hiring governance. The best way to think about this is like it's your official rule book for hiring. Who gets to make the final call? What are the interview stages that you absolutely have to do? Who has the authority to approve an offer? If you don't have a clear, consistent rule book, every single hire becomes this confusing game where everyone's playing by different rules. It just causes massive delays and inconsistency.
Okay, so we've identified the 4 big cracks in the foundation. Now let's connect the dots and see exactly how they create that gut punch of daily chaos, what we're calling the firefighting cycle. The cycle, it almost always kicks off like this. A last-minute role gets approved. Because there was no strategic planning, no forecasting, a new position just suddenly gets the green light. The business need is already super critical, the team is already waiting, and the pressure is just dialed up to 11 from the very start. And what happens next? Well, this immediately forces the talent team to just drop everything else. There's no time to build a smart sourcing strategy or do market research. The only priority is speed, speed, speed. And just like that, the scramble is on and chaos takes over.
And this right here, this is the collateral damage. You know that other, important but maybe less loud role you were working on? Yeah, that gets pushed to the back burner. All those proactive, strategic projects you had planned for the quarter? Totally derailed. The entire team's focus gets hijacked by this one urgent new role, and it knocks everything else off the tracks.
And here's the really devastating part. When this cycle happens over and over and over again, week after week, panic stops being the exception. It becomes the standard process. Firefighting isn't just something you do anymore. It is the job. Chaos just becomes the new normal. So all of this brings us to one final and I think most important takeaway.
It's a really simple but powerful question that every single talent leader out there needs to be asking their team and honestly themselves.
And here it is. Does your talent acquisition team run on proactive planning or reactive panic? I mean, when you really think about those 4 foundational pillars we talked about, workforce planning, demand forecasting, intake discipline, and hiring governance, which world are you actually living in? The answer to that question, that's the key to finally putting out the fires for good. Thanks for digging into this with me.